Yes.
It's a little warm for a sweater. Yeah. Good evening. It's Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, 6:30 p.m. This is the City of Franklin Common Council meeting. Madam Clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mayor Nelson.
Here.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Here.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Here.
Alderman Hassan.
Here.
Alderwoman Day.
Here.
Alderman Salus.
Here.
Alderman Craig.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to citizen comment period. I'll read this as I always do in its entirety. City of Franklin meeting rules of decorum for attendees and participants. For those attending City of Franklin meetings, respectful and orderly conduct is expected at all times. Disruptive or unruly behavior, including but not limited to clapping, verbal disruptions, signs, and outbursts will not be tolerated. For those wishing to speak during City of Franklin meetings, number 1, approach the microphone when the chair opens the floor for citizen comments. Number 2, state your name and address for the record. Number 3, address your comments to the Common Council, Board, Commission, or Committee only. Number 4, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Number 5, no endorsements or electioneering are allowed. Number 6, speakers shall refrain from presenting unduly repetitious, offensive, threatening, slanderous, defamatory, or obscene remarks. Number 7, persons wishing to speak as a spokesperson on behalf of a neighborhood, subdivision, homeowners, condominium, or business association or similar group with common interests shall demonstrate their qualifications to do so according to City of Franklin Resolution Number 2007-6227 before speaking on that body's behalf. Number 8, questions may be answered immediately by the chair or referred to city staff for a future reply in a timely manner. Those not adhering to the rules of decorum for attendees and participants will be asked to leave or be removed from the meeting if necessary. This is also laminated and at the podium. Second part of this is Chapter 19, Council Proceedings, and this is regarding citizen comment period, and this also is laminated and it's up at the podium. During the citizen comment period, no citizen shall speak for longer than 3 minutes at each council meeting unless the city council shall direct otherwise to an individual. City council direction may take the form of unanimous consent, and that's going back to 2009. So with that said, we are now opening citizen comment period. If you come to the podium, if you're the first one, please give the tap, Mr. Pelkey, to make sure it's working. Not too hard, that's our only mic.
Sounds good. My name is Andrew Pelkey. I live at 9320 West Grandview Court, and I'm here tonight to ask that the council do something different this year than it did last year or the year before or the year before or the year before. And that is to cease issuing permits to the Rock until the Rock can demonstrate that they can conduct events in a neighborhood-friendly fashion. I think we all remember what happened late last year when the volume was cranked up and profanity was spewing through the neighborhoods. I could even hear it at my house, which is unusual because I usually can't hear the Rock at my house. While I don't take offense to the profanity, I think it's very inappropriate to have an adult kind of content event being broadcast into places where there are non-adults. It's just common sense. So as I said last year, the way to solve this problem is to tell the people who run the Rock that we are not going to issue permits if you can't conduct your business within the laws of, or the ordinances of the city. And that's going to require some changes to their sound system. That means more speakers at a lower volume instead of fewer speakers at a bigger volume. It's that simple. So we've wasted lots of money having consultants come out and measure sound, and we argue about the sound and how loud it can be for a sustained period of time, 3 minutes, so that because a song typically lasts 3 minutes and all that kind of games. But enough is enough. Let's just, the only person who's going to fix this problem is the person who owns the Rock. And if the person who owns the Rock wants to fix this problem, he or she can. So I'm just asking you to not make it business as usual this year, please ask Mr. Zimmerman to fix the sound system, change the sound system in a way that will allow him to have events that are not going to be disruptive to his neighbors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pelkey. Good evening.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Nelson. My name is Pastor Ken Jones. I'm from the Tri-County Baptist Church in Franklin, 8040 South Lovers Lane Road or Hunter Street, whichever you prefer. But I'm here to speak on behalf of our church congregation. To begin with, as a matter of record, I'd like to say that at the outset of the water tower and water main project, there was many public information meetings, question and answer meetings. We attended those meetings, but there was a lot of pushback from many of the property owners that would be affected by the water main project. I can speak on behalf of our church. If we were to be assessed these charges as presented, it would definitely be a hardship on our church congregation. Most of the reasons that people gave as pushback was many of them had their own private wells, which were in good shape and functional, and they didn't need to hook up to the city water main. And that's our case as well. But after much discussion, deliberation, also concerning assessment charges, we were told by then city engineer Glenn Morrow and other city representatives that we would receive a deferment of assessed charges, and that the assessed amount would remain on the books, but be deferred until such a time where the property owner decided to either hook up to the city main or the property was sold or subdivided. So I would urge the council members, in the interest of maintaining integrity, to uphold and honor this deferment assurances that were given to our church and to the other property owners. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome.
Denise Greniger, 8203 South 47th Street. I'm here to speak on the petition to vacate Highview. I might get emotional tonight because this is a very personal situation for me. This is a neighborhood that as a single mom, I bought my house. I lived here. I brought my kid up here. He's been in sports. I taught him how to ride a bike on Highview Street. It's a neighborhood. It should be a neighborhood. I don't know what else to say other than that I truly hope you listen to the 99 people that signed a petition and are trying to keep our neighborhood a neighborhood, safe for people to walk their dogs, for people to walk down the street, to get on a bus stop without having to be worried about being run over by cars running up and down our street, which is already happening. I just beg you to please keep our neighborhood a neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Mark DeStephanis, here representing myself and my wife. We're the property owners at 8189 South 47th Street, which is on the southwest corner of 47th and Highview. This is just a few statements that my wife put together. First off, during the demolition of the woods behind our home, adjacent to the school property, there was supposed to be an agreed upon 30-foot buffer. And right off the northwest property line that they had marked off, they took every single tree down. Our property has maybe 7 trees with a 2 to 3 inch circumference. We now have basically an open field of mud and dirt. I know this is due to the expansion of the high school, which we agreed upon, but It just seemed like they took a lot more than what was agreed upon. As of today, with the high winds we had and the wide open dirt, our windows, siding, patio furniture, etc., are covered with a layer of dust and dirt. This is just the beginning of how our property and home will be during the duration of this project. We won't be able to enjoy having our windows and doors open this summer or enjoying our backyard without having to clean everything off first. Also, with all of the forest and that being taken down, we're looking at having to spend thousands of dollars to kind of rebuild a buffer or plant trees in our property just to give us a little privacy from what's going on there. As for Highview Drive, our property again runs adjacent. My neighbor and his wife are also here that live on the north side of Highview. And again, like my neighbor Denise said, it is a safe haven dead end. The children play there, they ride their bikes. There's kids that play for hours on end during the summer there, and it's just a safe space for them to be where they don't have to worry about any traffic. If that's opened up to the high school, it's gonna make things in the neighborhood a lot different. Finally, the City of Franklin's motto is celebrating the quality of life. We've lost so much already with the woods being taken and our 30-foot buffer not existent. We ask that you please leave West Highview Drive as a dead end. Please agree to vacate it. Preserve the neighborhood's peace, safety, and keep our quality of life at a high level on South 47th Street. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Linda Mathwig, 7321 Brun Drive. I want to address the upcoming season of events at Rock Ventures under Agenda Item H for license and permits. Residents are not opposed to the venue's events overall, except for tacos and tequila, where profanity and unacceptable language is, let me start again. Except for tacos and tequila, where profanity is unacceptable and that application should be rejected. However, noise from the past events has become a concern for over a decade and continues to affect neighbors. I live a mile away and I can hear the events. While the city has noise ordinances, they have often been overlooked to accommodate the owner of this venue, leaving residents exasperated. The responsibility lies with you, the council, to uphold these ordinances, carefully review each of these events, and consider the impact on the surrounding neighborhood. I do have a question. Has the city clerk received a detailed sound control plan from the Rock Ventures for tonight's vote? Specifically, one that outlines how they intend to minimize volume at the property line. The significance of this question is that on page 2, item 5 of the resolution 2024-8109, there is a clear requirement for businesses to submit a plan with which states include methods to substantially control and contain the noise within the premise to create harmony and protect the health, safety, and well-being of the attending public and the community. If Rock Ventures is not in compliance with this requirement of the resolution and their applications for events does not include any plans on how they intend to minimize the volume at the property line, then the submission is incomplete. Then if the council action of approving their events without a detailed plan of sound mitigation would effectively enable a broken process yet again and allow the noise nuisance issues from the Rock to continue. In addition, an update on the sound study, how mitigation measures will be implemented, would help assuring residents that noise concerns are being taken seriously. In closing, by enforcing the rules and maintaining a fair balance, the council can protect residents' quality of life while allowing Rock Ventures to operate appropriately. I urge you to act in the best interests of the community
3 minutes.
and uphold your responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Janella McAdams, 8735 West Hawthorne Court. I was hoping that you could provide a brief update on the results of the sound study by JPM Acoustics and what mitigation strategies have been implemented, since we're talking about permits for the upcoming rock season.
So at this time, we don't have the report back from JPM. Okay, so we're working with JPM to get that report, and that's all I can update you on right now.
Okay, so we have nothing implemented to reduce noise for this upcoming
Oh,
season.
your
to be-
question was, do we have that report back from JPM, which we don't.
Right. And I also asked what mitigation strategies have been implemented, and you don't have the report back yet, so nothing has been implemented.
Correct, I'm depending on that report to give the advice.
Okay. So this is our fourth year, going into our fourth year discussing permits for 40-plus events and a 2-day music rap concert, yet there's no noise solution that seems to be in sight for this upcoming season. And there is something that can be done because JPM, I understand once you get that report, but like I said, this is 4 years, and here we are going over the same thing over and over again. Last year, there was a sound study done before Tacos and Tequila, which turned out to be a joke because at 10:40 a.m. on Saturday, loud and clear, through my neighborhood, somebody said for a sound check, "I don't give an F." And if I would say that here, I would be asked to leave. You see the irony in that? Through the whole day, we heard numerous, the F word, MFer, ho, B, N word, for hours upon hours. You are all very aware of the noise intrusion and profanity blasted throughout the Rock surrounding neighborhoods and in our homes. On the Franklin website, Ordinance 178-2, public nuisance is as follows. A public nuisance is a thing, act, occupation, condition, or use of property or premises upon which its occupants commit public nuisances, which shall continue for such length of time as to, there's 5 of them. I'll talk about 2 of them. Substantially annoy, injure, or endanger the comfort, health, repose, or safety of the public. And another one is greatly offend the public morals or decency.
You're at 3, ma'am.
You have all known very well the complaints of your residents in your districts, yet you continue to ignore them, except for Mr. Pargarelli and Mr. Craig. So thank you.
It's about
for that.
3:20 and we got a full house, so
Okay,
You're
well,
at-
I am asking, Mayor Nelson, back in 2023, you had stated, "We are committed to addressing what has been longstanding concerns, and it is your priority to resolve this issue to ensure the well-being of all residents of Franklin." I'm asking you to stand by your word and do not issue any more permits until the noise mitigation is implemented. Thank you.
I'll respond to that after we close citizen comment period. Mr. Kleist?
Andy Kleist, 6025 Parkview Road, Greendale. I'm speaking on Agenda Item H. I'm here to ask you to table the vote on all permits for the Rock until the conditions of Resolution 2024-8109 are met and the sound monitor issues have been resolved. In September 2023, Mayor, you called an emergency meeting promising to prioritize and resolve noise issues. In October 2023, you were quoted in the Journal Sentinel that the city would take over the 3 sound monitors as a reasonable and transparent act, and that the city was working to bring in a third party to monitor sound like the Quarry model. Yet here we are 2.5 years later, and the promise remains unfulfilled. What is the status of the third party company taking over the sound monitors? Okay, No answer there.
Well, there will be an answer after you're done talking,
Okay.
sir. That's
Based
okay,
on-
I'll answer now. So your answer, Mr. Kleist, and you come here quite often, okay, with the same questions, the same issues.
Is that a problem?
That your Greendale electeds don't come to us with, but I'll touch on that. So we've come miles ahead of where we were 3 years ago, okay? Absolutely, we have. You can shake your head all you want. We've got money that we've paid. This council is investing in that third party, JPM, to come with good, tangible data and proven facts in a way that we're going to move forward. The fact that it's not fast enough for you, that's you.
It's been
I'm
over 10
not,
years.
I'm not happy with the timeline either, sir. I thought we would have had this months ago.
Okay.
But we don't have it. So I'm not going to be reckless. I'm not going to ask the council to do something until we're data-driven. We're data-driven, that's what we're waiting for, Mr. Kleist.
Okay. Based on work by JPM in the November 18th Common Council packet and confirmed by the police chief, the monitors at the Rock do not record data files unless noise exceeds 75 decibels. Let's be clear about what that means. The Franklin ordinance limit determined by receiving district at residential properties is 50 decibels. The post 10 p.m. limit is 45 decibels. Yet the monitors for enforcement are programmed to ignore everything below 75 decibels. If you approve these events tonight, you approve a system that is designed to fail because you have allowed the ROC to oversee the programming, locating, and managing of these enforcement tools. The police department cannot certify a material violation if the monitors are programmed to ignore the violation in the first place. This directly conflicts with Resolution 2024-8109. Page 2, number 5 states the burden of proof is on the operator. By using equipment that fails to record low frequency or sub 75 decibel noise, the operator has failed that burden and the requirement for continuous decibel monitoring. Again, if you approve these events tonight, knowing that the monitoring equipment is poorly placed, hasn't been lab calibrated since 2019, doesn't record audio files below 75 decibels, and doesn't collect frequency analysis, you are telling surrounding residents that Franklin ordinances and the resolution doesn't apply to the ROC. You are lowering the legal standard for one specific business while holding every other resident and business in compliance. Do not approve these permits based on future promises of a sound plan. It's been 10 years and we're still waiting. Table this vote until the resolution is being followed and the sound monitors are brought into compliance. It is your duty to protect the residents of the community and follow the laws you swore to uphold, not disregard or selectively enforce them to
3:30,
suit
Mr.
the
Clark.
interest of one business owner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dana Gint, 9011 West Hawthorne Lane. I'm going to ask for additional time because there were things discussed in the licensing, and I was appointed at the sound check last year to be the representative to receive calls regarding complaints.
Madam Clerk?
So there were things that
Mr.
were discussed.
Hold on. Madam Clerk, what is your view on that? Speak into the microphone.
I was typing, I'm sorry. What
Could you restate that again, that you're asking to be?
Sure, I'm asking for
represented?
additional time because there were things discussed in licensing that was incorrect. I was appointed at the sound check for the Tacos or Tequila event to be the representative to receive the complaints. So for them, for the representatives of the ROC to say there were only 8 complaints, I need to dispute that.
Okay, that would be the council's decision.
Okay.
Well, it's the council for that part, but is there anything that's been on file that Ms. Gint is the neighborhood representative?
Yes,
Okay,
we do have a form that she has filled out.
then we'll just go with that.
Yep.
That's fine, Ms. Gint, go ahead.
Okay, I'm asking for additional time. During the licensing committee, and there's several aldermen that were not in attendance there were statements that there was only 8 complaints made regarding the Taco Tequila event. It was made a point at the sound check that people were supposed to complain to me as the point person to alleviate the calls to the police department. The police chief is here. I think he would probably remember that. And there was other police officers there also, that I was appointed to take those calls. I have dozens of text messages, emails, phone calls, and discussions with dozens and dozens of people that contacted me regarding the profanity and the extreme level of noise. So to say there are only 8 complaints is beyond ridiculous. I want to make that very clear. And then also during the committee meeting, there was talking about that there was no profanity at the taco event. I have dozens of recordings on my phone and I can read some of them, but I don't think it would be appropriate. I mean, the N word, F word, S word, whatever, they started at 10:45 a.m. okay, and went, like, it was nonstop. And then there was a comment made that the Country Rising artist, Big X, the plug, has immensely profane lyrics. You should look them up. And then the Atlas person also has immensely profane. Their labels include explicit profane language on their labels, the same as Surgeon Boy and the other people on the taco event. So to say there's not going to be profanity at the Country Rising event and the taco event is just ridiculous. Now I'm going to read my speech. Dana Gint, 9011 West Hawthorne Lane. The hypocrisy from the mayor and this city is impossible to ignore. Before every common council meeting, the mayor reads a statement requiring respectful behavior and prohibiting offensive or obscene remarks. Yet ironically, during several concerts over the past 3 years, families for miles around the Rock complex have been forced to listen to hours of profanity, explicit language, and obscene remarks, broadcasting directly into our homes, parks, and neighborhoods, even starting as early as 10:40 in the morning. And tonight, the city is considering yet another two-day event featuring artists whose lyrics are openly and undeniably profane. Residents are expected to follow rules of respect and common courtesy inside this chamber, yet the city refuses to enforce those same standards outside of it. For years, the mayor has intentionally misled surrounding neighborhoods and with promises of protections that never materialize. The city's sound engineering consultant, JPM, has repeatedly stated that mitigation is simple and achievable, yet the city and the Rock continue to delay implementation, delays that can only be purposeful and deliberate. The longstanding noise problem is not an accident, it is a choice to allow a chronic nuisance to operate in violation of the spirit and intention of Franklin's codes and ordinance to protect citizens from adverse impacts. The noise crisis is entirely self-inflicted, not only by the Rock, but by the city. Since 2016, the developer has been required to complete and pay for a sound study and implement mitigation. 10 years later, nothing has been done. Over 1,300 noise complaints have been filed from Hales Corners, Greendale, and Franklin. The mayor dismisses these complaints as without merit. This characterization is offensive or purposely ignorant of reality. In 2023, the mayor indicated there were simple solutions and issues a press release claiming a commitment to address longstanding noise issues. 7 meetings were held under the banner of solutions to the noise issues at the Rock. Those meetings produced no meaningful solution. In 2024, the council unanimously approved a noise resolution, then immediately ignored it since then. In December 2024, the police chief requested a third-party acoustic firm to place, program, and manage sound decibel enforcement equipment. The mayor agreed 100%, calling an independent monitoring company worth its weight in gold. Yet here we are again, with none of those promises fulfilled. The mayor has repeatedly said the noise issues will be fixed. We are now 900 days past the so-called 2023 aggressive timeline, as reported in the media. Not one meaningful mitigation measure has been implemented. Not one independent monitor has been installed. Not one ordinance related to nuisance, disorderly conduct, or quality of life has been enforced at the Rock. Instead, residents continue to be forced to endure this harm for numerous days each year, even events that broadcast profanity and explicit content across residential property lines, violating city ordinances, state law, and basic common decency. The truth is very clear. There has been no serious intention and no follow-through to protect citizens from harm and nuisance from the Rock. The promises have been empty, the delays have been deliberate, and residents have paid the price.
So in a quick response to that, as I stated earlier, we're waiting for the report from JPM. We could not just pull money out of the sky and spend money. It had to be a council decision. It had to be budgeted. It had to be approved. We then had to look for a company that could come in and do this. And the reality of it is there was one company when this was put out to bid, one company that said they could do this. I can't believe it's one company only, but it was one company. And these don't happen fast because we have to do it by the book when we spend taxpayer money. And we spent a lot of taxpayer money, we still don't have the report yet. So when the report comes in, like when I said it's worth its weight in gold, it absolutely is. Because we've got to find out a number of things, and that's the council and my position, and I don't think there's nothing we can do to move it faster, because we're not going to, again, do a knee-jerk reaction. We've already got the study. He was here for the entire concert. He was here for events later. He's got a whole bunch of data and recommendations that are coming through, and that's the prudent thing to do. I understand this has been an issue for 10 years, but in the last 3, we found a company, we found funding. The owners of the Rock, Mr. Zimmerman, took care of the speaker angles, took care of a number of issues, a number of things to help with it, and it's been very successful in that point. So I'll leave it as that. Floor is open. If no one else, I'm going to close it.
Mike Zimmerman, The Rock. I don't think you guys need the address. So I can't control the study. I think one of the things that we talked about with the Common Council was putting some of these things on hold until the study came in. This is exactly why I didn't want to do that. You know, the business has to continue. So we sit here tonight really using last year's infrastructure and approach and proposing the same exact things. And while Mr. I think Pelkey, he made some pretty outrageous claims. I mean, we had 0 violations last year. There was another claim that it doesn't record anything over 75. That's false. So during the Taco Tequila, the records that we have from the city is that 8 complaints came in. Yes, Dana was appointed as the liaison between that small cohort in Hawthorne. She says dozens and dozens and dozens. I don't think there's that many residents, so that's interesting to me. But if there's more complaints, we don't have a record of it. As the liaison, she never reported back to us on that. But 8 noise complaints, 0 violations, and that's for all of the permits. We also never said that there wouldn't be any profanity. We didn't say that in that meeting. We said that we do our best to talk to the artists about it. But, you know, whether it's a country concert, a rap concert, or even the alternative rock music, there's been, you know, profanity in this. So we continue to stand by, willing to work with the city on whatever these recommendations are. But until that's done, you know, we still have to move our business forward. And, you know, I remember vividly at the sound check before Tacos and Tequila, it was neighbors, it was common council members, PD, I think county supervisors there. We had one lady hiding in the bush, Mathis, I think. Oh no, that was a different event. She was hiding in the bush. And we all agreed. We brought it down from 79 to 75. So we sit here, we need to run, we have a business to run. I appreciate what everybody's saying. I think all roads lead to Rome here, which is this study. And as soon as that comes out, we'd love to see it and talk about how we'll, you know, continue to get better.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening. I'm Patty Logston, 12100 West Belmar Drive. And I do have to, according to the rules, tell you that I'm in an election period right now, so I'm disclosing that. But I'm here as a Milwaukee County Board Supervisor, speaking on behalf of my district. I guess I'm a little bit discouraged that I have to be here after all these years for this matter of sound and noise and profanity. But what I would like to state is, you know, I understand Mike Zimmerman, I understand he's a business owner. He has to make money too. I totally get it. And I'm always open to talk to him about it. I understand the constituents. You know, they don't mind the music. I've heard that. They just don't want the profanity. What will it take just to get together and get some kind of compromise so everybody can work together here? Maybe they can, you know, lower knowing the songs, lower the songs where they know there's going to be a word that should not be over the loudspeaker. I went to many concerts in my youth with my husband. Many. I love concerts. I love noise. But I did not back in the day have to deal with the profanity. I think of the young children in the neighborhood, and that's what I'm concerned about. Children should not have to hear that. I guess I'm old-fashioned. But I don't believe the neighbors have to hear what's going on. So I'm just asking everybody to be respectful. And I understand your concerns, Mike. I totally understand he's a business, he has concerts, but then I understand the constituents. So I'm asking the Common Council here, when you make this vote, think of both situations, but I really do think the constituents and their concerns and seeing everybody come out. I wasn't planning on speaking. I was just here to hear an update. But I just ask, we don't want to keep coming back year after year. Milwaukee County paid $200,000 for a sound study. There were guidelines, there was information at the end for everybody to follow that they discovered. It was not followed. So I don't know what your sound study is going to result in, and I appreciate you doing it. But we've got to do something so we don't have to come back again next year and go over the same thing again. Thank you.
Seeing no one else, I will close citizen comment period. Moving on to item B2, a proclamation to designate May 2nd, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Franklin. There's a proclamation here. Is there a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item C, approval of the minutes from Common Council meeting of February 3rd, 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that one.
We have first and second. Any further discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Mr. City Engineer, if you could come up here to start. You bring Caitlin too. She needs to share in this. So what we're going to do, and I'll explain to everybody that's here, this is going into item D as in David number 1, and there's D as in David number 2. We're going to have 2 public hearings. People have an opportunity to speak on these matters. What I'm asking the city engineer to do, because I thought this was done and completed. I think there was an issue with the transitional period when our city engineer had left. And in that time frame in there, I think there was some things that weren't completed. That's why we're here today, because I thought this was put to bed. So what I'm asking the city engineer to do is to give the history as to why we're here, and then we'll move on to the hearing and the notice and all that. Mr. Paulos?
Thank you. So,
Nice shirt.
thank you. So, the last council meeting, we gave an update or kind of a history of how we got to this point, very detailed history with dates, with actions. We discovered back April 3rd of 2024, the council did ask for the engineering department to come back to the preliminary resolution to declare the intent to exercise special assessments for this project. And set a date for the public hearing. That never occurred. That's where the process kind of stopped. So we're here tonight to move the process forward and complete the process, put a bow on it, if you will. So this is as part of the process for their overall assessment. As part of that, we have a public hearing tonight, hear people's concerns. And then going from there, we have a resolution for that as well. And there could be discussion amongst, of course, council members.
So to add to that a little bit before, what was already discussed, and I understand there was a complete process that wasn't completely followed, and I'll say it like that. The council approved what?
There was an ordinance that was drafted a couple years ago that revised the deferment policy for this particular project. That was approved by council, but since the assessment process was never really followed through beginning to end, it's not really enacted, if you will.
Okay, and I'm saying this by design. So what were the stipulations on that resolution? If I lived in that area, when would that trigger me having to pay for water?
The assessment would be deferred, definitely. The only time the assessment would be affected would be as if somebody hooked up to city water or they divided their parcel.
So there were 2 points to this. So if I live in that area, the only way I have to then pay is if I choose to hook up or if I divide the property,
Yes,
not sale. So if
Correct.
I sold the property, to somebody, that doesn't matter.
correct.
Okay, I'm doing this because I know I'm trying to herd everything into one point.
Add to that,
I'm sorry, who are you?
Caitlin Makoviak, Assistant City Engineer here. So speaking on that, where you're referencing those 2 options is under the deferment municipal code 207-15K2 and then letter I. So as Mike mentioned, there were 2 ordinance changes that came to council, one in 2023 and one in 2024 to adjust this letter I so that it fit with this project. And that would be the deferment option, as you mentioned, with those 2 situations that would trigger the assessment.
Okay, why don't we have a few questions up here and then we'll notice the hearing. Alderwoman Eichman?
Thank you, Mayor. As I noticed, many of my constituents here this evening, thank you. I just wanted it to be on the record that I will be abstaining from this as I have been advised I need to, so I will not be able to comment on this. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Salus?
I do believe this is a fair assessment or, well, way to proceed. Like, if a person divide the property, that means the property is large enough and the division became to play. At that point, it's just like you divide the property, there'll be more parcels into the property. So it's very important. If you sell the property, you still don't have to pay. So I think this is a good deal for everyone, especially the neighbors. I yield.
Thank you. The important question now is who's reading the public hearing notice?
I don't have the document in front
Oh,
of me. so it looks like
Wow. You don't have the document in front of you?
I don't have a copy of the packet.
All right, so then I will take the ball. Notice of public hearing on special assessment for installation of a water main on South Lovers Lane Road bounded by 1,500 feet both of West Drexel Avenue to the north and 1,900 feet north of West St. Martin's Road to the south. Notice is hereby given that the Common Council of the City of Franklin has declared its intention to exercise its police powers under Section 66.0701 Wisconsin statutes and Section 207-15 Franklin Municipal Code to levy special assessments for water main installation improvements in the following locations: South Lovers Lane Road, bounded by 1,500 feet south of West Drexel Avenue to the north and 1,900 feet north of West St. Martin's Road to the south, known as Contract A. A report showing proposed plans and proposed assessments and other data is on file in the clerk's office at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132. So with that, we will open up the hearing on this D1. And if anybody wants to come and speak only on this item in D1, because there's 2, and then what we'll do is when we'll close the hearing, answer questions, and then we'll go from there. So right now, I'll give the time. It's 7:13 p.m. The public hearing is now open. Anybody wishing to speak on item D as in David 1, come up to the podium, state your name and address, speak on only D1. Now we're going to move forward.
If I've already spoken, will my comments be applicable?
We've already forgotten, so come back on up. Pastor, I'm messing with you, but if you want to come up, absolutely, now's the time to do it.
Oh, you're messing with me, okay. I'm used to repeating my.
I know you are, and you do very well, yes.
So, as mentioned before, thank you for this time. And as was noted before, there were at the onset of the water tower.
Thank you, everybody. I understand it's a public hearing, but we still have the same name and address, even though we called
Pastor
earlier.
Kenneth Jones, Tri-County Baptist Church, Franklin, 8040 South 100th Street, Franklin. So, yeah, at the outset of the water main or the water tower water main project, there were many information meetings, question and answer meetings, which we attended, other property owners attended, and there was pushback by many who live along that stretch of Highway 100 South Lovers Lane Road, which would be affected by the project. Because many of them, or most of them, had their own wells, which were private wells that were in good serviceable condition and still working and operating. So they would not need to, connect to the city water main. So there was a, pushback for that reason, but also about the assessment charges that were imposed. And I was speaking on behalf of my church, that it would impose a great hardship on our church, on our congregation. So to have to pay that amount up front. So after much deliberation, discussion, the city engineer at that time, Glenn Morrow, and other city representatives assured us that we would be able to have a deferment of this assessment. The assessment amounts would remain on the books, but the payment would be deferred until the time that the property was, I guess, subdivided, or the owner decided to connect to the city water main. So once again, I would like to urge the council members, in the interest of maintaining integrity, to uphold and honor those assurances that were given to us, the church and the other property members concerning this.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Alwe, welcome.
It's rather hard to hear everybody talking in this thing. I'm a little bit confused about this whole thing with the water. We own Always Apple Orchard, and
Can I get your name and address again?
the amount of it that
Mrs. Alwe, could I please get your name and address again?
Paula Alwe, 8081 South Lovers Lane.
Thank you.
The amount of money that they're estimating that we would have to pay, I'd have to sell a lot of apples at 10 cents a pound. I think we really give something to the city of Franklin, like when people are suggesting you move to Franklin, they say, well, we have an apple orchard there and you can go pick apples, and that just gives you a very warm community thing rather than anything else. So is the deal is that if we sell the property, we have to pay something? Do we have to pay something before? I don't understand.
So, Ms. Alwe, just let me know one thing. What year did you open your business? What year was that Always Apple Orchard business opened?
Well, the property is from 1950. And the trees were planted at that time. We didn't really start taking care of it till about 1970 from his parents.
You've been there a while. So to answer your question, which we talked about earlier, right now, the previous resolution that we're discussing tonight only goes into effect if you hook up or you subdivide.
Okay.
That's it.
And what if we sell it?
No, that's not included.
And only if you hook up
Hook up or subdivide.
or subdivide it. Got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. We can handle that.
Okay. Anyone interested to speak on item D1? Seeing no one, public hearing is now closed at 7:18 p.m. Questions from the council at this point? Mr. Pecorelli?
So when this was put in, it's just a main, there are no laterals, correct? Okay.
Correct, yes.
Thank you. That was it.
Okay, I understand the alderwoman is abstaining, but there is a motion here. If somebody would like to make this motion.
I'll make the motion.
This will be a roll call vote, by the way.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Abstain.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Okay, 5 ayes, no noes, 1 abstention, motion carries. Going into item D2. Am I reading this again? Engineering? Please. Okay. Public notices again under D2 is for hearings. Notice of public hearing on special assessment for installation of water main on the north and west St. Martin's Road to the south. Notice is hereby given That the Common Council of the City of Franklin has declared its intention to exercise its police powers under Section 66.0701, Wisconsin statutes, and Section 207-15, Franklin Municipal Code, to levy special assessments for water main installation improvements in the following location: South Lovers Lane Road, bounded by 1,900 feet north of West St. Martin's Road to the north and West St. Martin's Road to the south, known as Contract C. A report showing proposed plans and proposed assessments and other data is on file in the clerk's office at City Hall, Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin. So I will now, at 7:20, open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on item D as in David 2, come up again, state your name, address for the record, and you are allowed to speak on item D as in David number 2. Seeing no one, close the public hearing at the same time, 7:20 PM. Open up to questions, comments from the council. Mr. Pecorelli.
Same question. Were there any laterals as part of this? So it's just the main. All right, thank you.
There is a motion here. Anybody want to make this motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
First and a second, Madam Clerk, this will be a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Abstain.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Aye.
5 ayes, no noes, 1 abstention, motion carries. Is there anything else that has to be done on this? Mr. City Engineer, Mr. City Attorney?
Not at this point, but coming up further in the agenda, we have the final resolution. to
Right.
Consider.
Other than that, right now, we're,
Correct.
okay, good. G3, authorization to bid 2026 local street improvement program. What?
Public hearing.
To what? Well, this is the thing, is I want to make sure we're not coming ever back to this again. So, Mr. City Attorney, what needs to be done? Because I'm never coming back to this again.
I just did roll call.
Engineering did this, they said these items aren't done. And the issue is, follow the agenda, you gotta go back to organizational business.
Well, I'm looking at my agenda, and
You said you won before.
so we're good for this right now?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not. E as in Edward, organizational business. I have made the following appointments for council confirmation. There's 4 of them here. Any motions for separate, or can you go all as one?
I'll make the motion to approve all as one.
I'll second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
It's a roll call vote. Thank you. Doesn't say it on here. It's fine. Then do it. Roll call.
Alderman Pecorelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye. 6 ayes and noes, motion carries. Under F as in Frank, there are no letters, reports, and recommendations. We did 1, 2. Now we're going on to G3. Authorization to bid 2026 local street improvement program. Mr. City Engineer.
All right, so we are ready to go out to bid. If you agree to have us go out for the annual 2026 road program for various streets within the city of Franklin. The budget for 26 is about $2.56 million for the local street improvement program. And we're looking to go out to bid to get this project underway and have it completed this summer. I can go through which streets we're considering if you are interested. I can just hear the excitement.
Tense.
So part of the base bid is Tifton, Jody, 38th, Madison, Minnesota, known as the Rawson Homes area, south of Rawson Avenue, and also some work down at Kevin's shop at DPW. And we're also taking some alternate bids for Southwood, Briarwood, and Chapel Hill. If the bids come in favorably, we'll consider those streets as well. So we're looking for authorization to go out to bid for this project.
So that's the motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G4, Authorization to bid West Drexel Avenue, South Bridgeview Drive to South Northwestern Mutual Way, road reconstruction project, Mr. City Engineer.
Same ask here as well for the Drexel project. Again, you remember last summer we reconstructed Drexel Avenue, 2 segments of it. Now we're looking to continue that further east where we left off to basically goes from South Bridgeview Drive to what will be eventually Costco's new driveway just west of South 27th Street. This is a separate project, separate let than the road program. It's an expensive stretch of roadway, as I mentioned before, due to poor soil conditions. So again, here we're looking for authorization to go out to bid for this project as well.
Excellent. Questions on this? Sorry, Mr. Combs?
Isn't this the project we were hoping to get some grant from the state on it? What happened with that?
We don't have final word yet, but it's not looking good. So if we by some miracle got the grant with to delay the actual project for, I believe, 2 years, 3 years, even worse, yeah. So we've contacted them several times and it's not looking promising.
Mr. City Engineer? Excuse me, City Attorney, then back to you.
So how does this project get funded?
I believe the cities, we went through finance for this and they spoke favorably about it. And I believe that the intention is to borrow for this project.
So there's an ability for the city to fund this borrowing. Okay.
Madam
Thank
Director
you.
of Finance is agreeing.
Yes, and I just did want to make the council aware that this project is not eligible for impact fee usage, so it will be fully funded through borrowing.
Okay, further questions on this? Alderwoman Eichmann.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is only authorizing to go out to bid. In the meantime, there would be a chance, because I like to remain, I'm a hopeful type person, that grant could still come through, correct?
There's always a chance.
But to your point, Alderwoman, yes, it is good to go to bid. That's what we're doing.
Excuse me. And didn't they tell us that you could check on the grant? Has anyone followed up with them at all or no?
We have, and the message was still not very, it wasn't finalized, but was not looking promising, as I mentioned the last council meeting.
I think they'll know, they always said springtime, which is now in a way. So we'll find out more as it goes on, like if we got it for sure or did not get it.
So we'll obtain bids. We have 90 days to award the project. So between then, if we find out some positive news, we could always not award the project and switch gears.
Right. So I mean, we have to get bids. That's the first step in this anyway, so.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Piccarelli.
So if I recall correctly, we authorized some additional dollars to get some additional bore samples. Did we get those, or are we waiting on those? And once we have those back, then you go to bid?
Correct. The geotechnical report will be part of the bid, so contractors are aware what they're getting to hopefully hold the prices down. We don't have the final report back yet, but early indications are the soils are about as poor as we had predicted.
Okay.
We're just trying to confirm that.
Okay.
We'll have it ready in time for the bid. We'll have the final report.
So that's part of the final.
It'll be included in the project manual,
We're
correct?
meeting with the geotech engineer next week to talk through it before it goes out to bid.
Okay. Thank you.
Would you like to make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Seconded by Alderwoman Day. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G5, request common council approval to allow the fire department to dispose of decommissioned fitness equipment.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. G5B,
So consent,
oh, sorry?
because this was all consent agenda.
All the way through is consent? Okay, consent agenda. Anybody, is there, make a motion to move forward?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? As that motion carries. G6, ordinance to amend ordinance 2025-2712, an ordinance adopting the 2026 annual budget for the general fund to carry forward $2,084 of unused 2025 appropriations for the planning department subscriptions account.
Motion to
Good e-
adopt.
Second.
I was going to say, good evening, Mr. Regulo Martinez, our planning manager, for those of you who don't know. So we have a first and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Edmund.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Sluse.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye. 6 ayes on those, motion carries.
Thank you.
Well done, Regulo. You convinced them. G7, School Resource Officer, SRO Program, Information Report and Placement on File. Good evening, Chief Learman.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm sure you probably remember last year in January of 2025, you approved a second school resource officer. As part of that, you asked that I return early in 2026 and provide an update as to how it's going. Provided some information as far as statistics in your packet, as well as feedback from the administrators of the middle school, the high school, and the leadership from the district. It's all positive news. Everything is working as we had hoped. The numbers reflect that we have now become more proactive versus reactive, more student engagement. Last year, only having one school resource officer, we were kind of putting out fires, basically. So it's all positive news. I don't know if you guys have any questions related to any of the statistics I provided. Keep in mind, it's only a snapshot. It's only comparing one semester to one semester. So don't look necessarily too much into the numbers, but from what I see, they're positive.
Questions from the council? Now is there a motion to receive and place on file?
I make the motion to receive and place in file.
I'll second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you, Chief. G8, an ordinance amending Chapter 245, Vehicles and Traffic, 245-5, Sub I, to remove subsection 1 and amend subsection 3 to remove the existing time limitation on on-street parking restrictions during declared snow emergencies. Good evening, Mr. Schlueter, our superintendent, and Chief, you're still here, so the two of you are gonna.
So basically what brought this to the forefront is we had a snow emergency, I believe in December of 2025, or maybe it was November even. Yep, November, sorry. And we looked at some of the ordinances, and it had a time frame in there of a snow emergency existing essentially or being effective from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. That impacted what operationally the street department is trying to do. And Kevin, you can probably speak on that if you have any questions. From an enforcement standpoint, if you declare a snow emergency the way it reads right now, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we can't tell you to remove your vehicle from the road. And that's basically what the street department needs. So we ask that the time frame be removed and then an adjustment to the definition of what a snow emergency actually is.
Love it. Questions? If not, there's a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
What's that?
As,
You got a document.
right.
Mr. City Attorney, what would you
What were you
like that
gonna
motion
say?
to
Only
be?
with regard to the handout today, what was in the packet basically repealed, deleted the definition for snow emergency, so there was no definition of it. And my thought was, well, the mayor declares an emergency, probably ought to have some definition. So I put one together, and that's part of the handout. Snow emergency is declared to exist when snow is falling or has fallen in such amount and/or manner and/or in conjunction with other weather conditions and/or public works and public safety circumstances such that declaration is reasonably necessary to protect the public health, safety, and welfare. And some other technical changes in there.
My motion holds, thank you.
Well, no, it's, your motion is amended.
Amended.
Okay, we have amended first. Is there an amended second to that? Who made the second?
Yeah, I made the second.
Okay, amended
Amended
second.
hold.
Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. So what we'll do is, I think we should move to H, licensing, before we go into the closed session and everything else,
Yes.
just to make it make sense. So we're gonna move forward to H's and Henry, licenses. Who is taking licensing tonight?
I have the notes, so I guess I can start it.
So Alderwoman Day has the floor.
I think easiest way to do this, we'll take the operators separately, if that is okay with the body, and then we can do the extraordinary events individually.
I think that makes perfect sense.
Okay, so for the operators, the first one, Eliza Lara, she's approved with letter. And on the next page, the 3 operators are all approved.
I'll second.
So we've got a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Continue, Alderwoman.
All right, so the first extraordinary entertainment and special event application from Rock Ventures was for fireworks post-Milkman Games. I first want to start by saying there was a change of application within the licensing committee. It now reads fireworks or drone show post-Milkman Games. The dates remain the same, the time remains the same, but they would like the opportunity to have a drone show if one arises on those particular days. So that's the only change to the application. The firework dates, there are 10 of them. They are all Fridays, except for the small chance of something on Saturday, July 4th. They just want to have the opportunity to do something if there is the ability to do so. So 10 games, 10 Fridays. The game start for those Fridays is 6:35 p.m. for all of the games. The plan is for a 7 to 10 minute fireworks show that would start approximately 15 minutes after the end of the baseball game, with a last potential start time of 10:20 p.m. That allows for a little bit of flexibility for the Milkmen and the Rock if the game were to go into extra innings or have a weather delay. So with that, that is the application. 10 fireworks on those 9 Fridays and 1 potential Saturday, or drone show, 10 minutes, 15 minutes after the game, with the last possible start time of 10:20 p.m.
Okay, so we'll take, what we're going to do with these is we're going to go right down, and this is going to be a motion, a second, and then a roll call vote. Okay? So is there a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. This is a roll call, please. All these will be.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye. 6 ayes, no nos, motion carries. Alderman Day, you're doing excellent. Keep it rolling.
Okay, the second extraordinary entertainment and special event application was from Rock Ventures for the Umbrella Bar 2026 Summer Concert Series for outdoor music. These occur up at the Umbrella Bar. They are all Saturdays, beginning on June 6th, running through September 19th, except for one Friday event on July 3rd. They all have the contracts that were signed with the artists have a stop time of 10:30. However, the applicant has asked for a 5-minute grace period in case there is a little overage of the 10:30 mark. So 10:35 would be the hard stop time. They have asked for 65 decibel limit at all monitors, which is the same as it was last year. When applicable, and as they will use their sound system. They did say that there were a few cases last year where they were unable to do so, but when they can, and by and large, they use their system to control it. The one thing that the police chief asked me to bring up for the council and for the public was to make note of the 15-minute correction time period that we have placed on these applications the last few years. When it's a phone call to the police department of suspected sound violation, they're able to do things real time. If there's an overage, they're able to contact the venue and give them that 15-minute correction time frame. However, if a complaint comes in online, generally those do not make it to the police department until the next business day, which would be impossible for them to allot a 15-minute grace period for the venue to correct themselves because the event is already over. So putting that, we don't believe that we need to take that 15-minute correction time away, but just making it be aware to the public and the voting body that if it's an online complaint, that 15-minute correction period, there's no way to enforce that. Did I miss anything on that?
No,
Fellow-
I think you did a good job covering everything.
Okay, so to recap, Umbrella Bar Summer Concert Series, it's 17 days, 16 Saturdays, 1 Friday. Contract says 10:30 stop time, hard cut at 10:35, 65 decibels at all monitors with the 15-minute correction period.
Before we go for the motions, why don't we'll have conversation on this. So is there a motion on this?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I just would like to have.
Hold on. There's a first. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a first and a second. Further discussion? Mr. Salus.
Just like, regarding these events and these numerous complaints that we keep getting from the residents, I do believe, it cannot be limited to just a few individuals who just make it up here and come say, well, there is some noise and there is some disturbance within the community. I'm just like, I feel like maybe we should just put pressure on ourselves by tabling those events until we have some activity or some move on the sound study and the mitigation effort that should follow, because it has been like, taking way too long. And last time when we had the contractor who's supposed to do the evaluation after long wait, and then as a sudden, we just like ended up without any conclusion. Last year we spent $50,000 on the contractor, and there was some confusion about the scope of the work, and then we ended up in just about in a limbo until this time. I start to lose patience about, continuing to keep getting these complaints from the neighbors, and at the same time, there is no action on our side as well. So I'm just, most likely I will be in favor of tabling those events until.
I hear you, Alderwoman. Mr. Salus still has the floor.
I yield.
Alderwoman Eichmann.
Thank you. I don't feel that we should penalize the venue at all because the JPM contract falls on the city side. So why is it the Rock's problem that the city hasn't gotten the JPM thing? The two are not even connected. It's not at all. I mean, and it's pretty much a no-brainer, black and white. The venue needs to make money and make a profit. They need to generate that kind of money to then pay back the city, if you look at it that way. So why should we hold up a business from having events? Because on the city side of things, we don't have the JPM contract. It has nothing to do with them at all.
Zero violations.
Oh, hold on.
And also, when it is said we've made no strides, this continues to go on, that continues to drive me a little bit. It's amazing the amount of things since I have sat up here in office that have been done from day one, from when I started. We have sound monitors that are on the website that when these events go on can be looked at 24/7. If you would have told me that when I was a brand new alder almost 4 years ago, I would have said that's never going to happen. There's no way the city's going to invest in that. And here we are. We've got that. We've had the developer move the speakers, adjust the speakers, work with the city in doing that, work with the neighbors in doing that. That has been done. These sound checks, the sound checks are amazing. Every neighbor is invited. Anyone's welcome to the sound check. County supervisors go as our county supervisors here. Any of us are, for the most part, welcome with staying within quorum. Sound checks are held for every single event. I mean, the developer doesn't have to say yes to that, and he does. And there have been a lot of things that have happened. Is it perfect? No. Are we ever going to get there? We don't know. And as far as the comment that was made earlier by a resident, that the sound monitors don't record until it's 75. That is not true, because when we lowered the summer concert series in the past to 65, we definitely got phone calls right away when it went to 66 from that same resident, ironically. So it does pick up the sound of that low. I mean, I look at the monitors all the time. So for now, I will yield. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Craig?
One of the things that we did last year, and as Alderman Salus aptly observed, is that we had dropped the ball in terms of the periodic review that we were supposed to do at the halfway mark for the summer concert series. And we only did that with one concert remaining. I think that that needs to be put into future agendas. I know 2023, there was a standing item on agendas of steps that were being taken to help diagnose and troubleshoot the noise issues. I would like to see that return for summer concert series so we can either say everything's going great, where everyone's operating the way it should be done, and so that way there is a level of accountability for us as a body, for the neighbors to be knowing that their voice is being heard, and for the owner-operator to be able to say, I am doing everything that I should be doing within the confines of what the rules of the road say. I would like to see that come back as the first item. And it doesn't have to be in June, because it would be a non-issue because there are no concerts in the beginning of June. So I would say the meeting of July 7th, August 4th, and September 1st, just to verify that things are going well at Ballpark Commons.
Reasonable.
So only one meeting per month. Is it every,
Yeah, I'm sorry, the first meeting of the month.
just the first meeting per month?
I understand, Alderwoman, please. So, just so I get this straight. So, Madam Clerk, what did you guys just come up with reasonable?
Alderman Craig said each meeting would be 2 a month, and then he cited July 7th, August 4th, and September 1st. So I just wanted to confirm.
Just one meeting?
One
One meeting per month.
Okay,
The first meeting.
Correct.
Alderwoman Eichmann.
I was just going to mention, it's very unfortunate that when we sat in licensing, which for those that don't know, I am on licensing as well as Alderwoman Day and Alderman Craig, why this wasn't brought up for discussion. That would have been the time to do it, since licensing is the recommended body. I just wanted to bring that up, because now the venue has no option to chime in or to give our thoughts of opinions or work with us. So why wasn't this brought up during licensing? That would have been the time to bring that up.
Alderman Craig?
Well, because everything was just, actually, my view was the next item was the bigger thing, and there was a lot more discussion to be had regarding that. And my questions regarding summer concert series were about the infrastructure, the build-out, and everything that goes into summer concert series. Now, as Corinne had informed us, nothing has changed as far as the infrastructure goes. My viewpoint would be that everything that we would hear on those first meetings per month would be everything's going well, that we are operating within the confines, that the police will let us know if there are issues, and everything's going ducky. I'm not asking even to have their license be periodically reviewed. I'm just asking for just status updates.
So with your answer, sir, if I could just clarify that. So what you're expecting to come back would be complaints, sustained complaints, anything else, but it's not going to have any sort of negative impact, because we had no drama, we had no problems last year. The concert series went off great. There was no issues. I attended many of them, not till the very end, but I attended them. But I just want to make sure that we're all crystal clear what you're expecting and what you're looking for, because it's a pretty subjective state to say how things are going.
Yeah, and to go back to what we did last year, that was one of the conditions of last year, was the period or a review at the midway point, which we didn't do. That was on us, that didn't come back on an agenda item. And it only came back with one concert remaining on their schedule.
I understand. All right, thank you. Alderwoman, you still got the floor.
I yield.
Okay, good. So now, Madam Clerk has the dates that we want to have a review on come back. That's fine. We have, who made the first and second again?
I made the motion.
So we have, this is a roll call, please.
Yep. Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichen.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Abstain.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
5 ayes, no noes, 1 abstention, motion carries. You still have the floor, madam?
Okay, third item on, or third extraordinary entertainment and special event application from the Rock Ventures was for the Country Rising Concert and Tacos and Tequila Concert Festivals in 2026. The dates of that event are, it is incorrect on, there's a small correction on your packet,
Right.
I believe. The dates are correct, the May 29th and May 30th, but it's a Friday and Saturday, not a Saturday and Sunday.
Big difference.
Okay, just, so that's.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
All right, so just to table set, this will be the 4th year for Tacos and Tequila. Year 1 was just tacos. Year 2 was tacos and Phase Fest. Last year was just tacos. And this year, they're asking for tacos and tequila and Country Rising. Last year, there was a sound, as was discussed a couple of times this evening, there was a sound check that was done at the property line the night before the event, and the sound was set at 75 last year. On this year's application, the applicants had asked for 79 at all monitors. However, in discussion this evening, it was said that the best practice that everybody thought worked well was to do those in-person sound checks before the event. The applicant suggested doing it the day before both events, so May 28th and May 29th, there would be an in-person sound check at the venue. To set the limit. The limit would then be set and given to the police department at that time. As far as the stop time is the same as the previous years of 11 p.m., again, Friday and Saturday evening. There was a lot of discussion back and forth. Some of it came up in public comment this evening as well about content. It was discussed, Mr. Zimmerman reiterated that during his comment that they do try to stay to the artists and the promotion company to try to keep that in check, but they do not have the ability to force the artists to comply with that. I think that is, we did talk a little bit about traffic, being that the event is a Friday, Saturday instead of a Saturday, Sunday. Both police chief as well as Mr. Zimmerman stated they did not believe that traffic would be an issue and that they would work as needed based on ticket sales if they needed a secondary parking venue and shuttle service to be determined at a later date based on ticket sales. Would I miss anything?
I think you covered a lot, and I'm glad you found out, if anybody's looking, it's a Friday night and Saturday night event. And sound check, I think, on that Western monitor, how it went last year, I think it went very well. And I guess that's where we're at with this. So further discussion on this right now, Mr. Peccarelli and Mr. Salus.
So can I just want to clarify what you're saying about the sound check, because I think last year, what was the decibel limit? You said 75?
It was
75.
It was set at 75.
And then this year it was requested 79, but is there a limit that we're starting with, or how is that working?
Yeah, so last year, I would assume it would run similar this year. Last year, everybody sort of gathered by the sound monitor on the property line, and which is the one closest to the Hawthorne neighborhood, and they had somebody kind of at the stage, then playing music, and then they would raise or lower the decibel limit to a point where everybody agreed that it was at a point that was tolerable for everyone, and that's where we locked it in. So there wasn't, 79 was the ceiling, obviously, because that's in our code. But then I don't know what it started at. If we went up, we went down, but we locked in at 75.
So we locked in at 75 because that was what everybody agreed to.
Yeah.
In person, so to
Yeah.
speak.
In person,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
So it could be 77 this year. It could be 73. I mean, it's they're asking for to do the in-person piece again,
Okay.
and to do the 2 days in case there's a change in weather pattern, because that happened one of the years where there was significant difference in weather from one day to the next.
So then the check would be Thursday night and Friday night? Or, sorry, Thursday, because you said the
Yeah,
day
I
before?
would suspect Thursday evening and probably Friday morning before it starts would be my guess,
Okay,
Corinne's shaking her head yes, so I'll go with her.
okay.
based on the time of the application and start time. That would be my guess, but I think to be determined when we get up to that point, what the best time would be.
Okay.
You yield, sir?
I yield.
Mr.
Just
Salus.
like, I'm a little bit confused about, if it's, we have, the ordinance is clear about, the decibel, on the lot line, that it should, it should be tolerable. But, with the sound check being performed and people gather on the lot line and there was no issue. So are we, what is the deal with the people who, I receive numerous complaints. People live, they say, we can record what has been said within the privacy of our homes, especially the filthy language being, broadcasted here and there. So it's just like how I see contradiction here. It's either the sound check is not accurate or the neighbors is not telling the truth. Which one of them?
Alderwoman?
I don't want to place blame on anyone. I think there's a lot of different factors. I suspect some of it could be weather, wind direction, cloud cover, that kind of thing. I suspect there could be, there have been instances in years past where there has been something that has happened where the soundboard has been, the sound has been increased and nobody understands or knows how or why that happened. That could have been the situation. I know from being there last year, the music that was played, I didn't know all the songs, but I knew many of them. There wasn't explicit language in that was coming over. So it could be that suddenly, it was fine, but then all of a sudden I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody. I think it's a number of things. Some that are under control and some that are not controllable.
I yield. Okay, so with that said, and with the changes and with the plans, is there a motion
I'll
to?
make the motion to approve.
We have a first, is there a second? So we've got a first on the motion. Is there a second on the motion to approve this with the changes that were presented? Okay, motion fails. Is there another motion that can be made with more amendments? Alderwoman?
I gave the information that we discussed, so I don't have any.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a minute. I understand that, but we have to suspend the rules for now, but we've got a first and we did not have a second. Alderwoman Eichman?
I'm just very taken back and confused how we can sit, once again, it's like on repeat every year. The licensing committee talks to the owner, to Mike Zimmerman. We make some changes, we all come to an agreement, we have some discussions. Everything's great in licensing. We walk a matter of 10 feet maybe across the hallway into council, and now it's changed. I just, the differences and changes, why couldn't they be brought up instead of just a failing motion? It's not fair to the developer. Now I feel like that was a waste of my time in licensing. Why did we even have licensing? I mean, how can you agree in licensing and everything's fine, and licensing is the recommended body to the common council? and then it changes. It just, every year, it just really surprises me. For now, I'll yield.
Alderman?
I believe what I said in License Committee is that I would take this information to the council for the vote. I did not vote in the affirmative or in the negative. I said, this is the information, this is what we will take to council.
Well, I would like to see if somebody wants to suspend the rules so Mr. Zimmerman could have an opportunity to speak. Perhaps there could be something that would be amenable to the council.
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules to
I'll
allow.
second it. It's only fair.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's have it. Mr. Zimmerman, good evening, welcome. Have a seat, just please state your name and address again.
Mike Zimmerman, Rock Sports Complex.
I know.
7241 South 92nd Street.
Thank you. All right. So
So
go
I-
ahead, Mr. Zimmerman, you got the floor.
Well, a couple of points there. I mean, I think you guys owe me some explanation as to, you know, what the issues are. But to your issue, which I'm with you, right? Like, how do we do the sound check? Everybody agrees, and then you hear from a select group, largely in Hawthorne, a different narrative. This year, we gave the keys, the control to JPM. So whatever happened, it was supposed to be a liaison within the neighborhood that was supposed to talk to the JPM, I forget the guy's name, he had a ponytail, and that was supposed to be him working with the neighborhood to make sure that volume went up or down. When I read the packet, it says that there's 8 complaints, 0 violations. And this is the first time I'm hearing any significant issue with Tacos Tequila. This is our 4th year. Every year, it continues to get better and better and better based on data, on pure data. So I think, I mean, these two are monster events. In the absence of not doing this events, you're putting the entire Rock Sports Complex in a very difficult situation. Both events are being marketed like they have in the past. If there's no discussion around even amending a motion or different things we can do, I'm not sure as a business owner how to even respond to you guys.
So with that said, Mr. Salus, I'll speak last.
You know, Mike, the issue that the amount of time that has been elapsed with those people getting promises every year that the situation will be corrected, will be rectified. Trust me, there is one parent, he put his son on the phone. Trust me, he was crying because he doesn't want his son to hear the language being broadcast out of the concert. So, and it's not one, it's not two, it's not my district, but the amount of calls, I'm getting tremendous amount of calls. So last year, we were just like, we held ourselves down. I said, okay, well, the city engaged with this JB, person who is gonna do the sound study. And we were hoping for recommendations and mitigations to follow, and we will take it seriously because we have a responsibility toward those neighbors. I do assume whenever I handle any of those issues, I assume myself that I live in that neighborhood with whatever it is. And nothing came out of it last year. So I personally start to lose patience. I want you to succeed. I am a businessman, and every businessman who pay, the taxes and the expenses, you're entitled to run a business and to succeed in your business. But at the same time, we have to balance it out. So I'm just like, for me, I'm supportive, but at the same time, I like to see serious progress in terms of the sound study and mitigation efforts. And once there is mitigation efforts in place, and people may make fun out of me here, I say, well, we plant trees. We have a lot of trees we can't, but we need a plan to follow. Once we had a plan to follow, we as a community, as a city, you as a business owner, we put our effort together to put a solution to the problem once for all. Because long-term it affects your business negatively rather than spending all your time defending the noise out of the rock. You should be spending your time promoting the rock. And, trust me that nothing more than that.
I appreciate those comments, but in the core issue though is you're penalizing the business owner when the sound study sits with you guys. This is your sound study. It is your. I've said I will work with you. The gentleman that came out said, these are easy solutions. There's a lot that can be done. That was September. He doesn't report into me. He reports into you guys. So the government moving at the speed of business doesn't exist. So to penalize a business owner because of the speed at which you guys move is ludicrous.
Well, the thing is, Alderman, get you first. So the thing is here that we have no control over when this study comes in. That's the problem. So again, I'm going to say it like this, to punish the business owner as you're a business owner, and we have to see them to succeed with the guidelines that the council sets forth. Now, to say simply no, because we haven't gotten a study yet from JPM from California, I think that's very dangerous and reckless with the business, because we have no control of it. I talked to him, a week and a half ago? I think, it was your office. So, I mean, it was like I called and where is it? I mean, this is what we want to have done. And it was to be understood that we get that report. And now here we sit. I never thought that we'd be at this point. I thought we would have had it months ago. I mean, I don't know, but the thing is to say that we can't fix X, Y, and Z until we get this report. We look at the facts, we look at the data, we look at what was dealt with last year, and we move forward. But to simply deny or not let this move forward, I think is reckless at a minimum. Alderwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. I also wanted to mention, looking at the bigger picture of this, the economic growth that this brings into the city of Franklin, being on the board of directors for Engage. I know Engage was very much looking forward to this event. It was just discussed in our meeting this week, as well as tourism, the heads and beds that these events bring in. There's overnight hotel revenue that's created for our city. This brings in a lot of money into our city. And then the people to go to this event, they're spending overnight stays in our hotels.
They're booked.
They are spending money in our Franklin restaurants. They are doing some shopping in Franklin. This is more than just Mike throwing a concert and selling some tickets. This affects the entire city of Franklin as a large picture with the economic growth. By not approving this event, I feel personally, this is going to cost taxpayers money without one way or the other. There's going to be ramifications. I mean, we're after the rock at times because we want his payments that he owes to the city, but yet we're stopping him from bringing in revenue to pay the city. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. This is just a big picture that Mike just throwing some concert, selling some tickets. There's a lot of things that are affected by this. And I completely agree with the mayor. This is a dangerous, slippery slope to not approve this. There will be ramifications to follow. I do expect financially, which will then, in turn, unfortunately, affect the taxpayers in one way or another. I'll yield for now.
Mr. Salus?
I get what he's saying, but at the same time, we just want to make sure it's a win-win situation for everyone. And the reason I took this line that I took tonight, it's just to bring urgency to the situation, because I feel and I agree with Mr. Zimmerman that we seem to be moving so slow. We in the business community, when we want to do something, we have to get it done fast enough, so it will not interfere with the business activities. And it is a situation, and we are not trying to block the events. None of that. It's just I want to see some urgency to the situation. That's all.
Hold on. So let me ask you this, sir. So how can we get this done faster if we don't have the report? Okay? You can demand all you want, you can pound your fist all you want, but unless we have that report here, there's nothing that's gonna change. So he gets punished because we don't have the report in a timely fashion? I agree it's not timely. But to say no and to just say, nope, because we don't have a report, I think that's not only foolish, it's reckless, and it's not a good face for anything, and we are losing a bunch of other money. Those hotels are sold out. There's a lot on that, so I think we have to. Alderwoman Day. No,
I'm
Alderwoman
gonna yield for
Eichmann.
now.
Okay, Alderwoman Day.
Mayor just said what I was going to say.
Thank you. So I just to clear the deck, I'm not waiting on a sound study. There's no point in waiting on that. We don't know when it's going to come. We're not in control of it. I made my points this evening. I mean, I think it was pretty clear that I was not in favor of a large chunk of this event. My rationale is based on our extraordinary special event municipal code. It has criteria for to vote no. So that's me. I don't want people to think I'm sitting here waiting for a sound study. I'm not.
But Courtney, wasn't your criteria in the meeting was to think if we reduce the sound level, that would solve this issue? And I gave you guys the keys to set the sound level by having this meeting where we agree on it. Like, so you have the keys, you can just to control the level of sound.
I understand what you're saying, but last year it was a bit. I'm not saying this to say that it was done purposefully, but the music that was played at that sound check did not match the music that was played in the concert. And I think there would have been a very different response and a very different sound level that was set. And it has been made very clear to me that you don't have the control, nor are you going to force the issue of the control of the content. And that's where the crux of this comes down to. It's the content that is bleeding over into the neighborhoods that people don't want. And so for me, that's where the rubber meets the road for me on this particular event. And I understand that it may not have been a sound violation per se, but that doesn't mean that it's not still a public nuisance based on the code that we have. So
Then
like I said,
amend the
that's-
motion to clean up the content and see how it sails. Don't just shut me out.
No.
No, we're not.
So what I'd like to see is perhaps because I've talked to our director of administration about this and trying to get in with JPM to commit to a date. And I don't know why it's as difficult it is for him to commit to getting this through. He apparently doesn't understand the sense of urgency because how our approval process is months away from the event. Maybe that's it, I don't know, but I would like to see before this gets sunk, why not, table this? Director of Administration can perhaps get some sort of commitment time from him to come in, to find out, well, at least it's worth a shot, so before this just sinks.
That'll be satisfactory.
So, Mr. Pecorelli?
May I speak just to that?
Yes, Madam Director of Administration.
I have a email, most recent communication from John at JPM, and he is looking for final payment before we receive the report.
The extra.
Not the extra money, explain.
Correct. Yeah, it would be the final contract payment, and then he would provide the report. And this is something that city attorney and I really need to discuss and make sure that it meets every criteria. within our agreement before we do that, obviously, because the additional charges was quite surprising, I think, for everybody. And just want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence and not just sending a check off and not getting anything in return.
Mr. Pecorelli?
Well, I mean, generally speaking, I'd be comfortable with tabling it to try to get this to some level of something that we can actually get agreement on up here, because I don't disagree that from a business standpoint, this is going to be impactful. So I think there's trying to get to something. If we think we can have something soon, because I'm guessing you're going to need this as quickly as possible, the
approval.
So if we get something soon, I'd be in favor of tabling it. What do you think the probability of that happening is?
I guess if we were to pay, we can roll the dice and see. Because I don't have the ability to say, because I didn't really expect the additional charges to come how they did.
So where it stands right now, just so I'm clear on this, where it stands right now is where it is supposed to have been completed. We've been communicated that it's completed, but we will not receive it until we make final payment.
Mm-hmm.
We're conferring to ensure that, because there was some extra stuff that came about with this, that we can handle that extra payment and do that in a manner that follows everything we need to do.
Not the extra.
No, that was
the final payment. I misspoke.
Final payment?
The final payment. And then we should, assuming this is all there, we are expecting to get that back. We're expecting to get that
Correct.
within reasonable immediacy.
Correct.
Okay. So if that's ready, I would say that, from my standpoint, I would at least like to be able to see that.
Right.
To see if there's anything in there that can help us to make any kind of adjustment to get to something that we can all agree on, or at least the majority up here can agree on. I do agree from the standpoint of it is a bigger impact than just the rock as well. And I understand that there is a financial piece to this, so I don't want to see this necessarily fail up here. I think if we're that close to having information, I'd rather get that information
Bless you.
and try to come up with something that we can get to.
I want to remind you guys too that you raised all your fees too, like extraordinary amounts. I think we paid $1,000 last year for application fees. This year was $8,000. And here we sit like sorry, Rock, we didn't pay our bill. So
what I think before we go to Alderwoman, what I think would be the thing to do would be to table this to the next meeting. Madam Director of Administration, hold on, and can work with the city attorney. I'm going to call him myself too, because it's just been months and months that we're waiting for this report. It must be one hell of a document that we're going to be seeing, equal to a Star Wars script. So we're going to do that. And what we're going to do is, I think that should be the prudent thing. Madam Director of Administration.
I just wanted to state that, in looking closer at this, he expects the end of the month to have the final reporting completed. Wants the payment to clear beforehand. And when I am looking at the invoice, remaining 35% over sum total of JPM's City of Franklin agreement, $78,500 times 35% equals $27,475.
So the 27,000 and change is what's due to him per the contract that we agreed upon. Okay. So that's a lot of money. So this ought to be one heck of a report.
probably less than a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Alderwoman?
We've been waiting on an update on JPM for quite a while. Council has, as far as many residents. So can we please have an update on this on our March 3rd meeting. And then if it is acceptable, then bring this item, if it must be tabled, back on March 17th. I don't think they should both be in the same evening, only for the fact that council may not agree to pay JPM. And city attorney, please stop me from what I can say and what I can't say, because it's been a while since we've had a JPM update, and I don't remember what was all said in open and what was all said in closed. It's not as easy as the city just cutting them a check and saying, here you go. I mean, obviously, the $27,000 to the city of Franklin, it's a chunk of change, but not that much. There's a lot of more details and a lot more things that I'm not sure if I can legally state or not on the record. It's just not that easy, or we would have done it, and we'd all have that piece of paper and the sound study in our hands by now. So there were some changes with JPM, some financial changes. We assigned him to do one task. He took it upon himself to stay longer and to put more work into it. Now, he says he was directed by the neighbors off of Hawthorne Lane to do this extra work, but he was not authorized by the city of Franklin to do this extra work. So that is where the problem lies in, is he's expecting more money from the city and our taxpayers for extra work that he did, that we didn't ask him to do, that wasn't in the contract, because he told us the neighbors directed him to do that. So this is where the city stands. And Mike, this isn't for you, this is.
No, but I know I did everything that was asked of me.
Exactly.
I know I did that.
So this is a.
And I know I got no violations. So this becomes,
Right.
now it's a legal issue. And if we start to tackle this in March
Right.
with 2 people exiting, like, let's be thoughtful of that too.
Right, so, I mean, this is a complex issue with JPM. It's not like it can come to council, be on the agenda, and there's a motion to approve payment to JPM or not. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of missing parts, a lot of promised parts that JPM dropped the ball on. It's just not that easy. So to hold up a business owner, because the city picked the wrong sound study person, possibly, it's the only one that applied though, and in all fairness.
One of one.
Council did approve JPM. We thought the qualifications were there. We thought we were going to have it in our hands by now. I mean, we may have litigation with JPM down the road for all we know if we don't get what we're supposed to have. We are supposed to have those documents right now. We all wanted them. So to hold this all up on that, it's just not that easy. I'll yield for now.
Okay, so I think again, I'll go back to what I think is the right thing to do, is we table this to next meeting. Hopefully we have the council doesn't have to approve the final payment. This has already been approved. It's going to be mailed, checks in the mail type thing. And I guess that my concern is that we're making payment. We want to guarantee that we get this. Okay? That's a concern. What I'm saying is, as soon as we have it, it's not going to be waiting till another meeting. As soon as we get it, electeds will have it, because it should be a very substantial document. Given the cost and given the time, this should be a substantial document. It should be extremely inclusive and extremely effective with all of our concerns that were put out to him. So I'll leave it like that, but I think this should be tabled, and we'll find out what we have tomorrow by talking to him. Madam Director of Administration.
I just wanted to speak to your check is in the mail piece. It's really not that simple because of the situation with the additional work. I want to make sure that he is meeting all of the contractual obligations that.
Oh, 100%, but I'm just saying, I mean, the thing is, the checks in the mail is the terminology that we're going to mail you a check and whatever. Alderwoman?
Yeah. I suspect we're not going to have it anytime soon. It's been this long. I feel like JPM is playing games with us. We're supposed to have it in hand, promised, again, a long time ago. We've had meetings with JPM, to my understanding, lots of conversations. He hasn't wanted to provide it to us. He's trying to sell us this big full package for a huge additional amount of money, which council said no to. So this is so much more complex than, oh, let's just get that check out there. I mean, am I the only one understanding this, or am I the only one that doesn't remember the past meeting? I know it's been quite a while since we've had an update on JPM, but that is where we left it with them. And then administration was going to be working with them, as sounds like she has been, from the emails that she has read, to try to get what is owed to us. But if he hasn't sent it already, what do you think is going to make him just let us then put it in the mail tomorrow and be like, oh, you know what, I changed my mind, you guys, here you go. I foresee legal action with this down the road, without a doubt. So how long are we gonna wait? I mean, do we shut the rock down for a year and a half while we're in litigation? I mean,
And to think that this isn't going to affect ticket sales is,
So, all right, why don't we go back with this? At least we'll do a motion on this to table, and then we'll hold on, what's that? Say the verb.
Put over to the next.
to March 3rd.
Table to the next meeting, March 3rd.
I don't want to, but I'll make the motion to table to March 3rd if that's what we have to do.
I'll second.
So this will be, hold on, we got a first and a second. This will be a roll call vote. Mr. City Attorney, you had something on this?
I always say, use terms akin to put over instead of table. General table can be forever.
Well, it
So
was
I-
tabled till March 3rd.
All right.
So we'll use the term
Well,
semantics. We'll
do
go
it your own
semantics.
I'll change it if you want, attorney. I didn't hear what you
It's
said.
coming
though.
back March 3rd. So we got a first and we got a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
6 ayes, no noes, motion carries. Next one, Alderwoman Day.
Okay, the last one is Rock Ventures, The Hills has Eyes Haunted Attraction for 2026. Dates for this year are the Fridays and Saturdays from September 25th through October 31st for their normal evening events. And then Sundays, afternoon/early evening for the family-oriented, which is 9/27 through November 1st. Discussion this evening was basically everything is the same as last year. The box office will close at 11 p.m. The DJ and music will stop at midnight. However, people will still be allowed to finish the attraction. So there may be people or some noise that is heard after the midnight timeframe as people are finishing the attraction. Decibel limits are the same as last year. They are varied at each monitor. Last year, for the record, there were no violations to those sound standards.
30,000 attendees.
You said about 30,000 for the full event? Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
6 ayes, no noes, motion carries. We'll move on to I as in Ida, and then we'll go back to, we'll take a break and then go into closed. There are 3 points. Motion to approve the following. This is a roll call vote. City vouchers with an ending date of February 12, 2026, in the amount of $1,813,864.33. Point 2, payroll dated February 6, 2026, the amount of $507,893.97, and the payments of the various payroll deductions in the amount of $285,920.11, plus city matching payments. And point 3, estimated payroll dated February 20th, 2026, the amount of $501,000, and payments of the various payroll deductions in the amount of $565,000, plus city matching payments.
Move to approve.
Second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Alderman Craig.
Aye.
Alderman Salus.
Aye.
Alderwoman Day.
Aye.
Alderman Hassan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman.
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli.
Aye. 6 ayes, no noes, motion carries. We are going to be taking a break before going into closed session. It's 8:28. We'll be back at 8:35, please. 8:35 p.m.
Nice and neat without my scribbles.
Oh, okay. We'll still have to listen to it though, with everything.
Kelly, just start it up. We're gonna
Alderman
go.
Hassan, we're waiting on you.
I know. Electioneering. Ready? It is 8:37 p.m. We are back in open session. We are now on G9. This is the Franklin Public Schools versus City of Franklin Common Council, Milwaukee County Circuit Court Case Number 25-CV8557. The Common Council may enter into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statutes 1985, somewhat sub G as in George, to confer with legal counsel for the Common Council who is rendering advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to the subject litigation, and to re-enter open session at the same place thereafter to act on such matters discussed therein as it deems appropriate.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
This will be a roll call, please.
Alderman Craig?
No.
Alderman Salus?
Yes.
Alderwoman Day?
No.
Alderman Hassan?
Aye.
Alderwoman Eichman?
Aye.
Alderman Peccarelli?
Aye. Good. 4 ayes, 2 noes. Motion carries to go into closed session. Could you please advise? It's 9:04 PM. We are back in open session. Alderwoman Day, do you have a motion?
You're going to make me do it, huh?
You do it very well.
I do it very well. All right. I guess the motion is to proceed as directed in closed session. It's discussed in closed session, sorry.
Second. First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned at 9:05 PM.
Yep. That's what it means.
John.